just beat Manera in the Copa del Rey, and now we already have to look forward to our next match because on Thursday, Real Madrid will be taking on Mallorca, and that's going to be the third game within 7 days. I mean, these games are coming so damn fast. The schedule is really tight at the moment, and it's great for us fans. But if I'm thinking about it from the players' point of view, these guys need some rest. But look, nonetheless, y'all already know what I'm about to say. This is a must-win game. We must beat Mallorca because I want to win this tournament again. You saw what we did last season, slapping up Barcelona in the final, Vinicius hat trick. We saw in the semifinals of this tournament just last season how we knocked out Atletico Madrid 5-3, went to extra time, Brahim Diaz with the dagger. So I'm excited for this game. I'm always excited when it's a game that will lead us to winning another trophy. We already won 2 so far this season. UEFA Super Cup and then the Intercontinental Cup. And I'm looking to get the third one pretty damn soon. But look, you guys already know what we do on these match previews. We get into the team news, and then at the end of the video, I will be building my expected starting 11. So I need you guys to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and then get in the comment section and let me know what you're saying for this match. Now, let's talk about Real Madrid, right? Because we are the favorites, clearly, and we are top of La Liga, right? We have been on some pretty decent form. Now, we haven't had a La Liga game since we just beat Valencia a few days ago, but I think our form overall so far, it's been okay, right? Like, we just beat Manera 5-0 in Copa del Rey. We absolutely cooked them. And to be honest, we should have won that game fucking like 10-0. But Fran Martinez, Menora's keeper, had an amazing game. And the reason why I'm saying that our form has just been okay is because the squad that was out there against Manera is not going to be the same squad that will be facing Mallorca in this match. We played some academy products, and we had a lot of backups starting that game who are just going to be on the bench, or they might not even see the pitch against Mallorca. So, look, the game against Valencia, I wasn't happy with it. We did get the win, but we were shit for that match, right? But before the not the international break, but before the winter break, we beat Sevilla. That was a pretty good game. And then, before that, at Atlanta, Pachuca, right? We drew with Rayo Vallecano. So it's just been okay, right? I've not really been impressed with Real Madrid so far this season. But last time we played Mallorca, we got a 1-1 draw. This was the first game of the season. They're not a team that we usually just dominate because lately, all of our games have been really close. And I thought we weren't impressive at all. I know a lot of people are going to see these ratings here, and we got to figure out how SofaScore calculates their scores. But this makes no sense because against Mallorca, our midfield was rubbish, right? We couldn't hold the ball. Our attack was dead. Mbappe wasn't doing anything. Rodrigo got a goal. Vinicius got the assist, but we didn't do enough. There was so much hype coming into this game. And we all know how I view the first half of our season. I think the first half of this season was awful. The way that we played was shit. The way that we started off games was shit. So sluggish, so slow. We got to rely on Thibaut Courtois to bail us out. So, yeah, Mallorca is where it all went bad for us. So we already seen that the first time we played this team, we couldn't get the dub. But I do feel a lot more confident heading into this match because I think that we have been playing better than what we were when we first ran into them. Now, I do want to focus on Mallorca for a second, right? Because I think they have been one of the surprises in the league so far. They are sitting 6th. And I didn't even realize how consistently they've been this season because I'm not paying attention to Mallorca. Unless they're playing us, I'm not following what they're doing. But they are pretty high up in the table for a club of that level. And when I'm just looking at their recent run of games, right? Like, they did just get knocked out of Copa del Rey to a lower division team. So that does make me feel a lot more confident. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking they probably rested some of their main players, right? Like, for them to get knocked out of this competition, it is kind of crazy, to be honest, especially to a team of that level. But let's not act like Mallorca are that good either. But I just think with their good form in La Liga, definitely thought that they would be getting a little further in the Copa del Rey. But just looking at what they've done in the league, right? Like, they've not beaten any of the other really top teams. So, like, Barcelona slapped them up 5-1. They did lose like 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. But they beat Las Palmas. They beat Valencia. They did lose to Celta Vigo, but they beat Girona. They beat Getafe, right? We already talked about how earlier this season they got the 1-1 draw with us. So they took points off of us. They did take points off of Bilbao. They beat Vallecano, Real Sociedad. So, again, they've gotten some impressive wins. And this is why they are sitting 6th in the table. Now, just looking at their squad really quickly, let me know if you guys do watch Mallorca, who the danger man is for them, right? Like, who's the guy that we should be keyed in on? Like, who's been having a really good season for them? Right now, they got Samu Costa, Portuguese midfielder, decent player. Vidal Mariki, I think he scored against us, if I'm not mistaken, right? They got Martin Valent, the center back. Decent squad. But this guy right here, man, Pablo Mafia, oh my gosh. This guy's an absolute bum. And I'm hoping that he gets absolutely cooked. The only reason that this guy is relevant is because he talks shit about Vinicius. Literally. Like, that's his claim to fame. Nobody cares about him unless he's talking about Vinny. They also got Kyle Lauren, I didn't even realize that he was there. Yeah, the Canadian striker. Takuma Asano, I remember him when he was at Arsenal. So, look, pretty decent team, right? But again, let me know who the danger man is for Mallorca. Now, looking at the injuries that they possibly have, the only one that they're saying is Samu Costa, right? And we just saw he's their most valuable player. He is pretty important to that midfield. And they're saying that he has a foot injury and he may be out until late January. So that is one to keep an eye on, right? I think he will play this game because they're in the semifinals. They're playing Real Madrid. This is a chance for them to go on to a final to possibly win a trophy. Of course, he's going to be out there, right? Now, I want to get into some Madrid news. So there is a possibility that Vinicius ends up getting suspended for this match. We've still not gotten any official word at the time of me recording this video, but we all saw what happened against Valencia, right? Against Valencia, he got sent off with the red card for misconduct, right? He pushed the goalkeeper, even though I don't think Vinny should be banned. I think that'd be a little bit harsh considering that he was being provoked. There is still a possibility. Now, I already saw the squad list that's going to be traveling for this match, and Vinicius is a part of that. So, more than likely, Vinny will play this game, but do not be surprised if there is a 2-game ban that Vinicius receives, and then he maybe does not feature in this match. Now, some big news concerning injuries is that David Alaba is back in the squad. He's traveled for this game. He's returned from injury. He's been back in training for like the last 3 to 4 weeks, and there's a possibility that we see him in this game. And this will be a big boost for our defense. Now, hopefully, right, David Alaba is back and he can return to the levels that he used to be at. But it's going to take some time. And to be honest, I don't know if we're going to see him unless there's a big lead in this game. But again, how things have been going lately against Mallorca, where we're only winning 1-0 or it's a really close game, hard fought, I doubt David Alaba gets thrown into an environment like that, but want to call that out. Now, before we get into some of the other injury news, I did want to show you guys the squad that will be traveling for this match. So, Courtois, Lunin, and Fran Gonzalez are the goalkeepers. In defense, David Alaba, like we just talked about, Lucas Vasquez, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, Asensio, Lorenzo, and Diego Aguado in defense. Now, the midfield, we got Jude, Camavinga, Valverde, Modric, Tchouaméni, Arda Güler, Dani Ceballos. And then in attack, Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Endrick, Brahim, and the kid from the academy, Yanez. Now, again, Vinicius, I think he will play. But we haven't gotten any updates on the suspension rumors that were floating around. So that's why I wanted to call that out. Now, just looking at some of the players that won't be there, right? Jesus Vallejo does have an injury, so he's not going to be available for this game. Jacobo Ramen, Eder Militao, Dani Carvajal. Now, David Alaba, he is back, and he is in the squad. But they're saying that Luka Modric, Vinny, and Vasquez have disciplinary issues, but I don't believe they are suspended for this game. Again, Luka Modric was in the squad. Vinicius is in the squad. And Lucas Vasquez, his disciplinary problems only concern the Champions League. So he will not be there for our next UCL game. But yeah, guys, this is some of the Real Madrid updates that I do have for you. And now let's get into my favorite part of these match previews, and that is building the expected 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti will put out there. Now, you guys already know, I want your feedback on this 11. So, in goal, I think that we see Thibaut Courtois return to the team. He wasn't out there against Manera because obviously we got to give Lunin some game time. But I think with this being a semifinal, I wouldn't mind Lunin being out there, but I just don't think that Carlo is going to play. Like me personally, I would play Lunin in this game just to give him some more game time, right? Lunin, we saw last season, was one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. There's no problem with him being in goal. But I think Courtois makes a start in the semifinal. Now at right back, I think that we're going to go Lucas Vasquez. Unfortunately, right, we definitely need to sign Trent this January. I do not want to see Lucas Vasquez for the rest of this season starting at right back. It will literally be my 13th reason why, chat. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I know that Lucas Vasquez will be out there. And then at right center back, I think that he goes Tchouaméni, right? We all know that Raul Asensio has been dropped from the starting 11 for no reason. And I think Tchouaméni will be starting at center back for the rest of this season. So it is what it is. I'm not going to even fight it. I like Tchouaméni. I know that he can do a good job at center back. I just prefer him to be in midfield, right? I think Raul Asensio deserves to be starting, but I think Tchouaméni will be out there. Now, next to him, Rudiger, also returning back to the starting 11. He finally got a rest, right? He was not out there against Manera, and that's a good thing because Rudiger has played the most minutes for Real Madrid this season because we have no real options behind him at center back. So I think he will return. And then at left back, I don't think it'll be Fran Garcia or Ferland Mendy. I actually think that Camavinga will start this game. Now, Camavinga did start against Manera. So that may play into the decision-making here if Carlo decides to drop him and start maybe Ferland Mendy, because Fran Garcia and Camavinga both started against Manera. But with this being a semifinal, and we know that Mallorca, they took points off us earlier this season, and then last season, we barely beat them in our matchups, if I'm remembering correctly. I think Carlo is going to go pretty strong here. And Camavinga is the best option that we have at left back because he's very good defensively, and he can also get forward and carry the ball as well. So he's the perfect blend of a Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy. Now, in midfield, right, in the pivot, I think that Dani Ceballos is going to start this game, right? So I got Ceballos, and I don't mind Ceballos being out there because he is very good on the ball, and when he does receive it from the back line, his first touch is good enough to create space and then give it away to a Valverde or maybe Camavinga who might be overlapping, or let's say Vinicius or Mbappe, whoever's on the fucking left wing, or the Jude in the 10. So I don't mind Ceballos being out there. He's definitely earned himself some more minutes. Now, next to him, I think that Valverde will start this game. You guys know I was pretty pissed off about Fede Valverde starting against Manera. There was no point in him being out there to play that game, period. But we just know Carlo does not believe in giving Valverde a rest. So I think he will be back in the starting 11. We're going to need him for this game. One of the best eights in the world. He scored a goal against Manera. Hopefully that can continue against Mallorca. and we know how important he is. So I'm going to be very surprised if Valverde is not in this midfield for this matchup. Now, on the right, I'm going Rodrigo. I think he has to return to the starting 11. Personally, based off the form, I would have gone Arda Güler, but Arda Güler just played 92 minutes against Minera, and we know that Carlo's not going to start him in a big game like this. So I think that Rodrigo comes back into the 11. I don't mind Rodrigo being out there. He's my favorite player at the club, and before the winter break, he was on some pretty good form. So no issues when it comes to Rodrigo starting, to be honest. But I would like for him to receive a bit more instruction so that he stays on the fucking right wing. I'm tired of looking at the heat map and Rodrigo's positioning is like right here. Brother, stay out wide, okay? Stay out wide. That's what we need. We need you to remain on the right wing. If you come inside, now Lucas Vazquez has to just play right side of the pitch because we don't have a threat on that right side. So Carlo has to give more instruction. Now in the 10, I'm going Jude. He did not play against Minera, right? And I think Jude in the 10, that's just where he's been thriving so far. And he's been having an amazing season regardless of the GA. But we did see against Valencia how he scored the winner. And he did get the assist for Luka Modric. And I think just the closer to the box that Jude is, the better that things happen. But we know that Jude has free roam, right? This guy is over here. This guy is sometimes on the right. He's sometimes down here. But let's just start him off a little higher up with Dani Ceballos and Valverde behind him. Now, left wing, I'm going to Vinicius, right? Vinny had a disaster class against Valencia, and he did play against Minera about like maybe 20 minutes, and he didn't really do anything when he got subbed on, which is a little bit surprising. So, yeah, I think Vinny's form has been mid. I think that he does need to get a little bit better what's the word? He needs to put in better performances than what I've saw over the last 2 games, right? Against Valencia, the guy had a shit game, was also sent off with the red card, and then he came on against Minera, and he didn't look like he was going to do anything in that match, which was pretty surprising. But I do think that Vinicius comes back into the 11. Hopefully he's not suspended for this game, and he cooks Pablo Maffio, because Pablo Maffio is a fucking bum, and all that he does is worry about Vinicius. And we all know Vinny is a big game player. We saw him cook in this tournament last season, and I have all the faith in the world in this guy. I trust Vinicius. This is my baller right here. So Vinny on that left wing. And then Mbappe, got to go central, right? Mbappe's form lately has been a lot better than it was at the start of the season. And he should have scored against Valencia, right? Now we know that VAR has confirmed that they wrongfully ruled his goal off because they said it was an offside goal. But in reality, it was not. So that does suck. But I do expect Mbappe to have a big game, right? Even though he didn't have the best game against Valencia, I think that his form was on an uphill, and I think it will continue that way, even though against Minera, he didn't look all that good either when he came on. He just was out there doing cardio. And I don't really blame Vinny and Mbappe for not doing their best against Minera. We were already up very comfortably. So, look, this is the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti will throw out there for the Spanish Super Cup semifinal, right? And I want to know what you guys think about that. Now, big up to your damn self. Get in the comment section, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. We will be live doing a watch along for this game. You guys don't want to miss it, right? The watch alongs and the match reactions are always so lit. Big up to your damn selves. Get those score predictions in there as well. I'll give mine during the watch along, right? I don't want to give it away right now, but I definitely do want to know what you guys are thinking. Big game coming up. It's a must win. Holla Madrid!